So tonight I'm going to make a little homemade pasta, homemade meatballs with a spaghetti sauce. So I've already got my sauce going here. I'm just waiting for my hamburger to thaw. It's almost there. But for now, I'm going to preheat my oven at 350 and take out my bread for the garlic toast that I've been waiting to rise, and it has risen. So I'm going to let the air go out of there, and it's too hard to do this with one hand, so I'll get back. Okay, so I've rolled out my 2 garlic toast, and I'll let those rise for a while. And here's my garlic spread. See if the butter's soft enough yet. Ooh, it's almost there. Got to be a little more room temperature. I got all my ingredients in there. It's just got to be mixed up, and once the garlic toast is ready, it can be added. So now I've got my egg, all my ingredients in there. I'm going to roll out my meatballs. I've got my sauce on, and it's just starting to come to a bit of a boil. I'll turn it down a bit, and then once I get all my meatballs in there, I'll get back. So I'm going to go ahead and put my meatballs, like I said, it's hard to do with one hand, into the sauce, and I will leave that on simmer and cover for about half hour. So here's the pasta for tonight. I'm going to let that sit for a bit just so it can retract, and then I will flatten it and cut it. I just finished flipping my meatballs, and I think my bread is just about risen enough. Let's check it. For my 2 loaves of garlic bread. So that's risen very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven. And then I'll pop those babies in for about 45 minutes. So I hack off a little piece, and while I'm working with it, this is my rolling pin today because my roommate took her rolling pin to work. Or to work today, yeah, that'll work. So after I roll out some, I simply cut it, and there we go. And then you gotta let this dry out. Not much, but just so that it's not too vulnerable. And that's your spaghetti. Fresh homemade pasta. Meatballs are still going, oven is preheating, and we're on schedule. So I'm going to continue working this and making a bunch of pasta, and I'll get back to you in a bit. Okay, so my dough is all rolled out. I'm going to continue rolling and making the fresh pasta, and that was really hard with a jar. I don't suggest it. Let's check on this. Oh, that smells good. Garlic butter's all nice and melted. These bad puppies are just going in good. Excellent. So I finished rolling all my noodles and cutting them. They've got to just dry out a little bit before you can boil them. And I got my pot of water on over here. My sauce is looking awesome. I already checked and those are cooked right through. My bread is doing excellent. So I'm way ahead of schedule, and these noodles, because they're fresh and not frozen or produced or whatever you want to call it, will only take about 2 to 3 minutes to boil. So I'm way ahead of the game. I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back. And there you have it. All the fixins. Fresh homemade garlic toast, fresh noodles. Yummy, gummy bears.